Incredible morning. Incredible greetings. Hello, everyone. How art thou? Hello, everyone. Alrighty, let's make this it's saying no sound detected. Why is that? No sound detected. Let's see what's going on here. Sound check. Okay, mic check. 1 2 1 2. I know, not for you guys. I'm talking about over here on my TikTok. It's saying no sound detected, and I don't know why. Okay. All right, let's see. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not over on TikTok. Let me know if you guys can hear me. But hello, everyone else over on Facebook and YouTube. I know you guys should be able to hear me. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. As you can see from the thumbnail, we are going to discuss using Silhouette Studio for your creative business, your craft business, whichever one, however you define what it is that you do. And all of, no matter what you define it as, you're going to need a source to either fully create designs or setups and layouts, or use it to be able to resize and things of that nature, save it, print it. So, all right. Okay, I don't really feel like figuring out what's the name right now. I'm just going to go ahead and end this. If you guys, they can't even hear me, so I'm just going to go ahead and end the live over on TikTok. All right. I don't even know what's going on with it. Don't really have time to figure it out right now. Okay, there we go. We are going to go over here. All right. Come on. Just give me a moment, everyone. Experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties here. Okay. Let's see. Someone says, listening while working as well. What are you working on? That's why it says as well. Morning, listening while working. What are we working on? Are we at our regular work or working on some of our creative projects? Make sure that you guys, as you're coming in, tap the like button, the heart button, share it out, tag a friend, or simply drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from, okay? All engagement definitely helps. So just let me know who's in the building, guys. A lot of times I come on here, I don't know who I'm teaching for the day. So double tap, and let me know who is on with me, who is watching. Okay. All righty. Let's go ahead and hello, everyone. How are you doing? Again, so I said hello. We're going to go ahead and do our official greeting and get started. So I am Shakia, the professor of HS Ink 365. We are the home of the amazing, incredible product line. Honestly speaking, we carry the best sublimation ink. My shirt, is made with our sublimation ink and paper. You get absolutely vibrant colors. So if you have not checked it out, if you've been watching me for years and years, for the Silhouette Studio content, and you are not aware that we have products now on our website and not just the classes, be sure to head on over to shop.hsink365.com. Again, that's shop.hsink365.com. That's where you're going to find our, honestly speaking, sublimation paper and sublimation ink, our pigment ink, our accessories like replacement cartridges and chips. And I think chip resetters we're out of right now, but there should be another batch coming in pretty soon. We have HS Ink Digital over there. So we do have files and things that's going to be able to help you guys in your creative endeavors. If there is a particular type of design that, you're not quite comfortable with the design part of it yet, and you would like to see on HS Ink Digital, drop us a line and let us know that as well. And we'll see if our art department can get that design for you, okay? But if with our sublimation paper, you can sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. Our ink, 140 milliliter bottles. Usually you get more bang for your buck. And the colors are absolutely amazing, okay? And they are keyed for eco tank, like to easily load up into eco tanks, okay? And then 365 Creative Academy, where we help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of classes and trainings, such as Silhouette Studio. Our Essentials to Silhouette Studio is our top training. We have so many students. I think there's currently about close to 2,000. Yeah, actually now it's probably close to 2,000 students that have enrolled in, actually probably more than that. Last time I looked, it's actually probably more than 2,000 students that have enrolled in Silhouette Studio. We have nearly 6,000 students who are enrolled in various trainings over on 365 Creative Academy, which when you purchase it on our shop site, you automatically get enrolled in that class on the Academy site. But we have 6,000. I'll tell you the exact number here. Let's see. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Yep, 5,684 people enrolled in our classes. So that lets you know it's worth it. They know that the classes are valuable. It's helping them because they wouldn't come back. They would not be enrolling in the classes if they were not valuable. So be sure to check out all of our classes. Today, we are going to discuss Silhouette Studio and how it can be beneficial to you, even the free version of Silhouette Studio. So how many people here are currently using Silhouette Studio to design? Now, I said Silhouette Studio. You do not have to have a machine. So if you don't know that, well, I guess when I find out actually I should say who's not. Let us know either way. Yes, if you're using it. No, if you're not using Silhouette Studio. Let me know if you're one of those Cricut users. All right. So let's see who else is over here. Incredible greetings. Hello. How are you? Thank you for stopping by and working on my creative projects. Okay. So she is on the regular job. Just purchase Business Edition. Listening while working as a pediatric nurse. You guys absolutely rock. I've I've always had great experiences with my pediatric nurses, with Zion Imani being having epilepsy, and we've had to have some stays in the hospital. So I tip my hat to you guys. Thanks for joining from Texas. Incredible greetings. How art thou? It's been a while since I've seen your lives. My work schedule has been crazy. Well, I'm glad you're able to hop on this good old Friday morning. So we use it. Okay. I do all of my designs in Silhouette Studio Business Edition. Also, I used to use it. We got to get you back to use it. Or actually, no, because I'm not going to say that you don't have to use it forever. You can get to a point to where you are using it as a a stepping stone, a diving board into designing and things of that nature, and learning the terminology, learning how designing works, and then move on to a more commercialized and robust software, whether it is an Adobe product, it's an Affinity product, if it's Inkscape, if it's Corel Draw. There are programs that you can elevate to past Solar Studio, but I always say it is a great gateway designing program. Okay. Let's see. Make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. Alrighty, hold on. Let me do this part. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Silhouette is my go-to. I tried Photoshop and I'm not ready to learn that one yet. I wouldn't say that. It really depends on how you approach it, right? I know we are in, like, we're in creative groups, craft groups, business groups, or we're watching, like, we're going on YouTube looking at content. We're on TikTok looking at content, maybe even Instagram and things like that. And we're seeing all of these, like, over the top, amazing things that can be done in any of these design softwares. I am one, when I'm teaching, I encourage people to learn one thing at a time. Like, each of these softwares or types of softwares has a unique benefit over like a different, like another software. So if you take the time to learn it one piece, like one bit at a time. Also, when you are trying to learn these softwares, it is best to learn it just to learn it. If you put the pressures of, I want to learn this, or I want to create a specific design, or I want to create a specific project or a specific product in these softwares, and you are on a time crunch, you have the pressure of wanting it to be absolutely amazing and incredible because someone paid you for something, that can be a lot on you. So I highly recommend just going in and having fun with it. I know that people always ask me, how do I know these software so well? When I was helping someone out here, look, in person in the office, and I was helping her with design and stuff like that. She's like, man, like, how do you just know like what to do? I have fun with this. I spent time just learning it. Now, I had the privilege of learning this and being introduced to this in high school. I understand that that's not the case for everyone. It's like we're getting into this because we're wanting to start a creative business and turn our passions into profits. That's the cliche way of saying it. You want to monetize your skills, you want to monetize your hobbies, monetize your crafts. And we're really thinking about, like, I'm investing this money. I have to get this software, even though it's only a one-time fee. I have to, I'm paying for designer edition or business edition. I invested money in a printer. I'm getting blanks. I'm getting shirts. I'm getting vinyl. I'm getting every time that Michael's has a sale, every time Joanne's has a sale, I'm going and I'm buying all of this paper. I have thousands of scissors because I can never find one. I have glue guns and glue sticks, and I have liquid glue, and I have glue glue sticks. I have hot glue sticks. I have pop dots. I got foam board. I got cutters. I have cutting mats. Like, we're thinking like, man, I've invested all of this stuff. I want some return on this, right? Like I want some money back on this. This cannot be in vain. And I get it, right? I get it. Especially with the pandemic, it made it to where, it got kind of rough there for a minute, and then now they're saying like there's inflation and uh, the cost of everything around us is going up, but the traditional pay at like your 9 to 5 and your corporate jobs, it's not making, it's not enough for the average American. So, we're looking to be entrepreneurs, and do our own thing, start our own thing, or just create products to supplement our income to make those ends meet, or to be able to have that little bit of extra, to have that extra to invest, and things that is going to make us money in our sleep, right? So I get it. Trust me, I get it. Hey, I live in this country too. I understand it. But I will say that when you're learning new skills and if you want to monetize it, the best way to monetize it is to get pretty good at it so that people see the value in it. And you're not trying to charge top dollar. I see so often in groups where people are asking, well, how much are you charging for this? I can give you a roundabout price, but if I tell you what I'm charging, what I'm charging comes with years of experience. It comes with me using the proper equipment. It comes with me not working outside of my creative means and what my printer can do or what my heat press can do. My price comes out of, not having a bunch of mistakes and me being able to get it done more efficiently. So I can't always tell you like what I charge and or you take what I charge and think that it's going to work for you. You have to really perfect. I don't even like to use the word perfect, but you have to be really good and efficient. So you have to be efficient with your crafts and your skills to really hit that top dollar, because you are not going to be able to do it all yourself. As you grow and grow and grow, you have to understand how to train people, and for them to understand, you have to understand the business yourself so that you can get the proper help when needed. But that's me going into the business professor. But today we're going to talk about the creative professor and the design. I'm going to talk from that space and designing and things like that. Okay. So, hello, incredible greetings. Thank you for joining us. All right. I got my Cameo silhouette during the pandemic because I wanted to make my own shirts, but it turned into a little business for me. I do want to learn other programs, but I'm still learning the silhouette. Awesome. And that's perfectly fine. Hey, Robin, how art thou? Thank you for joining us. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put my little ticker. Let's see, where'd it go? Oh, there we go. I'm gonna just put that one at the bottom right there. Okay. Although that, to me, that's always kind of distracting. I really don't like that thing at the bottom. I'll bring it up later. It drives me crazy. It drives me nuts looking at it. All right. So let's talk about Silhouette Studio. I repeat, I am not affiliated with Silhouette America in any way, shape, or form. I know right now we are in an age where everyone is an affiliate and ambassador. I know like on TikTok now, like the TikTok shops, they want TikTok influencers and affiliates, and they're just going and they're buying stuff and they're saying, hey, this is great. Like, go get it. And they're making money off of, pushing you to that product. Now, I don't make any money in pushing you over to Silhouette Studio because, like I said, you can use this for free. You don't have to get the machine. You don't have to pay anything to upgrade. Now, if you do decide to upgrade it, yes, I am an affiliate for Swing Design. So, and you can use my link and I will get a small commission. But just simply teaching this and introducing people to it, I make no, there's really no financial benefit in it for me other than, my YouTube. But I'm on Facebook. I don't get paid to do this on Facebook. So for me, I came across this software and this ecosystem. I like to call it ecosystem because if you ever do get the machine, it's absolutely amazing, right? But I came across this about 9 years, almost 10 years, because my niece is 9 now. And I came across Silhouette Studio when my sister was still, prego with her. So almost around 10 years now, I came across this system because I was a Cricut user before. I had the old school Cricut with the cartridges and things of that nature, and switching them out and having the little cards and having to flip through it to figure out which ones you needed and which things to hit on there. Like I had expressions. So that's the one that I had. So I was a Cricut user, but I also was a Cricut user that used shortcuts a lot and make the cut and things like that to be able to fully design, because I was someone that was a designer, right? Like I said, I learned Photoshop and the Adobe family of the Adobe suite of softwares when I was in high school. So I had this. I did not like being limited by cartridges. I ended up using that, and there was that's when they were just Provo crafts. End up being this whole lawsuit situation, and couldn't, once you did the firmware update, you couldn't use that anymore. I had to find something else. Came across a couple different things. I still am a event decorator, and I used to create a lot of things by hands, and I needed something that was going to help me with cutting it. So I looked into these things first, because I would make 3D boxes and bags and stuff like that for my events, so that I didn't always have to hand cut it. Came across the Silhouette system on one of those, QVC shop at home type deals. Ended up getting my first one from Amazon. I believe I got my first Cameo from Amazon. I don't think it came from QVC or Home Shopping or whatever it was. So I got it from Amazon. And once I got into the software, and this was way back when the software was 1.9. Like we are now on 4.5 as far as the software is concerned. So I've been using this since 1.9, like a long time. It looked nothing like it looks now. My favorite is still version 3. 3.6 is my absolute favorite. That's what I have on my laptop. That's what I mainly design in, because it's not as glitchy as 4 can be sometimes, depending on your computer. But I came across it and I was like, oh, wow. Like I can do a little bit of what I learned to do in Photoshop. I can do a little bit of what I learned to do in Illustrator and CorelDRAW, which are 2 vector-based programs. And I was in love. And then on top of that, I can send this to the machine and it can cut my boxes out for me. It can cut out all these other things where I don't have to use my hands. I am a whiz when it comes to a blade, a craft blade, and scissors. I'm a whiz at cutting, but it does a number on your hands. So I can actually use this to cut it. And there's so many things that I have done over the years within my event business, my creative business. I've never said craft business, but my t-shirt business, my just custom creations business. As a cheer coach, I made things for cheerleaders. I've made things for schools. Once my son was in school, making projects for using it for his school projects, to where my baby always gets an A. I'm excited because now I get to do it for 2 kids. Zion Imani goes to kindergarten this year at the big boys school. So I'm excited about that, because now I get to help him with projects, because that's normally where the good projects come in at, like kindergarten, first grade, like up to like 3rd, 4th grade. Like that's when the good projects come in at. In middle school, wasn't too many opportunities other than the science fair. So I'm excited that I now get to do all of the craft projects with Zion Imani. And I utilize Silhouette Studio and my Cameos a lot for that. Now, if you don't have a Cameo machine, that's fine, because you can do so much in the software. You can create things, and then if you have business edition, you can save it either as an SVG, you can save it as a PNG, you can save it as a JPEG, you can save it as a PDF file, and be able to take it into like other cutting machines, whether you have a Caesar Romeo, a Caesar Juliet, if you have a StarCraft, if you have a Cricut machine, if you're looking even into like, some people think that I didn't really look at it to see if they're going to have a whole new software for the Cricut venture. But, if it's still the same design space, you can create and save it as an SVG to be able to use with that new machine that is coming out for Cricut users. If you have a Graph Tech, if you have a US cutter, there's so many different brands of cutters out there, and you can create designs for every last one of them in Silhouette Studio for free. Whenever you are going to Etsy, or if you go onto like design bundles, when they have the, which I think this might be next week, when they have the dollar deals and things like that. If you have a subscription to Creative Fabrica, those SVGs and files like that, it's not like, you might be a Cricut user. They didn't create that file in Cricut Design Space to be able to have you use it. That SVG was designed in a separate software. So I want you guys to not think that whatever machine that you have to create in the software that's made for that machine, because most of the files that you are purchasing, they were made in the Illustrators and Corel Draws of it all. And then now you have like Affinity Designer. Silhouette Studio can be that same thing. So even if you don't want to actually create items with a machine, but you want to be able to help out others, you have these amazing ideas, you have a knack for putting together fonts, and you want to create digital content, you want to create SVGs that people are going to want to use and buy and recolor and cut out, or they want to sublimate it, they want to create DTF transfers. You can do that too by learning to design in Silhouette Studio and then saving it as an SVG, even if it's from the free version, because technically there is a way to create 10 free SVGs every single day with Silhouette Studio. And I have a video about that as well. Okay. My first machine was a Brother Disney edition cutter and program. I now have a Silhouette and using Silhouette Business Edition. So Stanley says, yes, it is definitely worth learning. Yes, I've been using this since 1.9. Well, it quickly changed from 1.9 to like version 2. I was using version 2 for like the majority of it, and then version like 3. But yeah, that's how in my box it was 1.9. Incredible morning. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, wait, first, before we take a look at it, if you ideally right now could create something in Silhouette Studio, what would it be? And I'll let you know if it's possible. Not say create. No matter what the design software is, if there's a design that you have or you want it for a specific type of thing, whatever it is that you do, you want to figure out how to enhance it. If you can enhance what you do with a design, what would that be? What is it that you really, really, really want to learn? Now, guys, make sure that you guys double tap the like button, share it out. If you are watching from your phone, you can go ahead and hit that heart. Just go ahead and keep tapping on it to like the video, to either like it or drop the hearts. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to click out of the live chat and give the video a thumbs up. Shares also help too, guys. You may not be an affiliate, but they need to run your coins for how you present their product so professionally and passionately. I know. I don't know. I've reached out before. So, and that's how I know, I get asked that all the time, or should I say, I get fussed at sometimes about how hard I go for this system that I receive no acknowledgement from. When I say I don't receive any acknowledgement from the owners of them at all. And people ask me, why do I do it? Because I didn't always have a successful business that makes, several figures, couple commas and stuff. I wasn't always in this position. I worked a regular job when I got out of the military, when I worked at Brinks, installing home security systems, climbing in and out of attics, getting very itchy with the fiberglass in attics. I hated that. I got in trouble once, walking and trying to figure it out, and I slipped. I went through someone's roof, through their ceiling once. My foot went through someone's ceiling once, and then of course they had to fix that. And then it's like right as I was getting out, I don't know what, something freaked me out, and I end up like messing up the frame. Like I love the job for all the stuff, like all the wiring and setting all that stuff up. I like drilling holes, because it was before the wireless system. Like we had to like drill holes through people's like the doors and like windows, take it through the attic, bring it to the box. Like I did all of that. And it was fun, but it wasn't fun. I worked different jobs. I worked in American Airlines arena, and I just had regular 9 to 5 jobs, and my husband, well, now he's my husband, met him at one of those jobs, but we were just like regular folk, we had to do the same thing, make ends meet. I was an event planner and decorator. That's one of my passions. It still is. I was so excited because last week I got to get into my event planner bag. Well, like for the past month, because I was helping her with different things. And then I got to like make centerpieces and water bottle labels and all of that kind of good jazz. So I was in my event planner bag for the past like couple of weeks or whatever. But I did not always have disposable income. Reason why, my catchphrase was DIY by a professional was because I had to DIY it. Like I couldn't go out and just go buy all of these big displays and all. I used to have to make everything to try and keep as much of the profit in-house as possible. I had a lot of time on my hands. So, hey, and then as a volunteer as a cheer coach, I had parents who, they didn't have disposable income, and being in cheer can be very, very expensive, even on a rec level. And it's not all-star or high school. It can still be quite pricey. So being able to create things that we can use as fundraisers, or to be able to make shirts and practice outfits so they look good, they feel good, they cheer good, they compete good, they win good. Like, we got a couple of trophies, like I wanted to make it to where it was less of a financial burden. So I share this not necessarily to get that recognition, but I want people to know that if you are low on funds, this is a great system. Like this is where it's at. Like it's worked for me. It got me to a point where, I now have a very successful business with teaching it. I still use, I don't use all 6 of my cameos, but I still use a great deal of them. And I just want to share that with others, because I know that in this economy, we have to have some sort of skill that we can control to be able to make money and make ends meet. So I do it because I know it will help others. Ooh, okay. So how to change hair color on Betty Boop SVGs while maintaining the black outline. This is what I really want to learn. Should we show you this? I don't know. How many likes do we have? I don't know if y'all ready for that. If I should go and show you how to do that. Okay, I gotta open this up, go over here. And then let's see, I gotta find my file. Oh, I don't even have the baby one? No, I know I have another Betty Boop. I know I have one. Now the question is, where is she? I can't believe only one person answered that. What is it that you really want? Like, if you could learn to do anything, what would that be? We only had one person answer that. So the rest of you guys, you are good. There's really no reason for you to be on this live video. You have all the information that you need. You got all of it, all the information that you need for your business, for designing. You already have it. Right now, I'm just entertainment for you, right? Okay. Um, I had same issue in the essentials review you taught us. Wait, huh? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand the comment or the question. Good morning, listening while cleaning my garage. She is the best teacher. If you can afford her classes, get it. And I think I keep them pretty affordable. Let's see. I'm looking for Betty. I know I have one. I know I have one. Like, where is it? But I know I do. I know I do. Oh, how to do the Betty. Okay. Um, okay. So, how to use the puzzles on Silhouette. Now, when it comes to the puzzle feature, I'll say this. It's better to just get a puzzle and sublimate it. So when you're using the puzzle feature, that's for like if you're going to really create your own. So whether you're going to cut it from paper, if you're going to cut it from cardstock, like something like really like just kind of creative for, kids, or you can cut it from chipboard, which means, you will print something like create the file, like create the shape. You're going to print that out, preferably on some sort of sticker paper, and then you're going to put it on the chipboard, and then you're going to cut about like 1,000,001 times so that you can create this custom puzzle. I will say I think it's better just to get to do sublimation for puzzles. Sublimation makes doing the puzzles so much easier, and they have so many different sizes of puzzles, like something for like smaller kids. Zani Mani loves puzzles, but you don't really like it's to create your own. So when you're doing that, you're just gonna put on there, how many sections you want. If you want it to be for a preschooler, you only want maybe like 10 pieces, you're just going to put that up there. And once you have that set up, it's just that's creating the cut lines. So once you have your chipboard there, you're going to just set it up to just cut. You may have to, do a couple of cuts at one setting, stop it, adjust your blade, cut it again, or you can try and use like the craft blade if you have the 4. But that's all it is. The puzzle one just sets up those marks for you, and then your machine, you just have to do 1,001 cuts. But if you're doing something for sublimation and you want to do a puzzle that way, you don't go into the puzzle feature. You just design it in the size, print it out, and press it to a sublimation puzzle. Okay, there she goes. I'm like, I know I have Betty. I don't know where to start. I learn from everything you teach us. So my suggestion on where to start is pick one thing, right? If it's I want to learn, like, let's say you start with, I know all these SVGs are like great, like, people ask about the Betty and changing the color and all that stuff. But if you don't really have a direction, I recommend starting with text and just creating different types of text designs and laying them out. Once you kind of understand how to align them, it might seem simple. I try to encourage people, and I try to really show people the benefits of starting very simple. It might seem, oh man, that's not exciting. Like, I don't want to do that's not exciting. Like, we want to do the exciting things, but the exciting things come from understanding the basics. So if you were to do text and play around with justifying to the left, to the right, center, mixing script fonts and block fonts, layering stuff, changing out of colors, and then playing around with like adding shadows and edit points. But pick one thing and just kind of go from there. Or if you want to, my knee hurts. You can start from pre-made designs. So when I was really, really trying to like get my footing in Silhouette Studio, I didn't try to create from scratch. I had a subscription to their design store. I would buy different files and I would basically disassemble them and figure out like, and kind of figure out like how they were put together, because I was used to designing like just regular designs like for print, because again, I was an event planner. I was making invitations, I was making party favors, or I would just print out like big pictures of characters and cut them out and put them on foam and cut them and stuff like that. So I wasn't really into like creating cut files. I didn't have a cut machine like that when I first started. I just want to create regular files. So when I'm now figuring out like where to put lines at, like how to put these 3D things together so I can create my own, I started with designs and I disassembled them. So if you want to get a subscription to Creative Fabrica, click the link in the description of this video. Go on there. They have so many different files. Get those, break them apart, change them up. You have the foundation, edit those files. And that's a great way to start. That's a great place to start. Okay, so I have it up. So we're going to present. All righty. So when it comes to something like this, like you're wanting to get the outline, you're going to have to understand about your modify tools. You're going to have to get an understanding of your knife tool and what does it take? Like what's the theory behind like how this works, right? So we want to isolate it. We want there to be an outline here. We have to think about the fact that there is a headband here, okay? And it's still connected to a lot of different things, okay? So I'm going to just do a quick, I'm just going to duplicate this. I really don't need everything else, all right? I need to have this where it's separated so that I can. And how we're going to get that intern, like that area, there is a tool. There's a tool or function called offset. So you can do it to the outside or you can do it to the inside. But it has to, so actually let's do it like this. So I'm going to go like this, right? And let me teach you, like, let's just break down the basics of what happens first, and then you'll understand what we're doing here, okay? This is what it's also taught in like foundations of designing. This is designing. It's a big difference in just learning. Okay, you can click here, you trace, you add text. Like that's the baby stuff. When you are ready to design, be prepared for our master's program, or join enroll in Essentials of Silhouette Studio. You learn these design techniques, not just putting elements together. So once you go and you do an offset, right? So I can go offset and I can keep this, and now I can make this a outline, right? So we can do it that way, but I have to have, like, if I want it to be contoured, I have to have that defined area. Or I can take these and, okay, I want to leave my outside part. I want that to stay. I don't want to modify that. I don't want to alter that. I want to put an outline on the inside. Well, that's when you're going to use your internal offset. And depending on how it's set up, you will have to adjust the distance. Okay. And now that becomes the solid color, or like the hair color in this case. And then the outline still stays black. So that is the theory of like how this is supposed to work. So I have all of this stuff connected. If I click on her hair, see, this part is solid, and I need an internal line for this, right? So I need to isolate the hair. So I'm going to take I'm going to take my knife tool, and I'm going to just cut this area off right here. That should be fine. And yeah, see this one right here. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do it. I know how I technically would do this, but I'm gonna see, because this right here, I'm going to delete the point on that. And actually here, let's release compound path and just weld it. And okay, so I'm gonna take the headband. I have to kind of account for where the headband, there's an offset around it. So I'm going to start there and I'm going to put an offset on this. I'm going to take my distance down. Okay, to around about where the offset is for this one. And I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to click on the face and I'm going to click on the black section and I'm going to go modify, subtract. Okay, so that's going to leave this part open. Oh, I've got to do this part right here too. So we're going to go subtract. So I have this, but it's technically still connected. I'm going to use my knife tool again. I'm going to come through here. All right. So now I'm going to select everything that's up here. Oh, I'm still connected. Oh, I said I knew I was supposed to cut through the earring right here. So I'm going to cut through the earring and I now should have, wait, what's still connected? Oh, right here. There we go. So now disconnected her head from her body. I don't really need this part anymore. I now if I were to technically take this and I was to do an internal offset. Okay, so I could have this piece. I'm going to send it to the back so it's behind this, but that looks weird, like, because now you have this hair and you don't have that outline for the headband, so it can look kind of funky, right? And I also didn't bother to really clean it up. So technically, but we have it around here. We don't need that part. So I'm going to take this offset that I created. I'm going to just make the color so you can see it. So I'm going to take this offset I created. I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to click on the head and I'm going to do a trace. I'm not trace and detach. I'm going to do subtract all because that will keep this part here, right? If I need it, because now I can technically, like, I'm going to undo. Okay. I can, all right, just making sure. I can take this part and place it here, make it black, send it to the back. Ooh, what the heck? So there we go, right? I now can make her hair whatever color I want. But for me and how I operate, it's not enough for me. So one, I'm going to come in here. We're going to ungroup and we're going to fix the hair here. Delete point. Ooh, went too far. Only wanted to delete here and here. Make that a curve. Let's pull you down. All right. Make sure, if this is good for you guys, make sure you guys are tapping the screen. Is this helpful for you? Let me know in the comments. Is it helpful for you? It can be intimidating. I'm not going to say that this is a beginner task. You have to be honest with ourselves in that there are some things that are beyond your scope of designing because you don't know the basics. And guys, it is okay for this to not be something that you can do. You just have to continue to practice and build up to this. It is okay for this to be outside of the scope of what you are able to do. Okay. Actually, you know what? So if I do it this way, I just realized I didn't really need to do this part just yet. I just needed the hair because I have this piece. Because now when I internal offset, I'm technically going to be accounting for that area twice. Yeah, it's going to make that area technically a little too big. I just needed the hair part. So what I'm going to do is come over here and delete this section and just kind of like figure out like how I ideally want her hair to look. So I'm going to round this out for now because I just really want the whole hair, because then I'll apply the what's the name to it. So this is why I always duplicate. Now imagine if I didn't duplicate, I would have had to go and start all over again. So a lot of the tasks, we are looking at them and we want them to be like this easy. Oh, I just click a button and it's just going to work for me. And it's not the case. Like, you have to understand designing. There are certain design concepts and you have to understand those to get the results that you want. Okay, so let's do it this way. And I'm going to do the internal offset. And you decide how big or small you want that offset to be. Apply. I'm going to make that a compound path. Send this to the back. And see, the offset that I made now gives me that part. And to cut into the hair, I'm going to take that outline, hold down Shift, click on the hair, and then I'm going to just subtract. So it looks like nothing has changed, but now those pieces are individual, and whatever color the background becomes is what is like in between there. Yeah. And you can go in if you want to, like, because the offset's only going to give you so much wiggle room. Like, if you want to go in and just kind of like make it extend up into this area, you can, and just play around with your edit points so that it wasn't like so far away. Same thing with over here. I want it to be a little bit more filled in. If I didn't want this to be rounded, I want it to be more like it is here. I'm going to come up and make that, like, extend that, bring that in. So you customize it to your liking once you have it set up. Okay. So that's that. That's how you have the hair, but still have the black outline. All right. So now to get to those skills, you got to learn Silhouette Studio, guys. You got to learn the tools and functions. You got to know what they do. You got to know that subtract would have cut that away. You got to know that what internal or what offset, internal and regular offset are. How do you learn that? You go onto our website, you scroll on down, you enroll in Essentials to Silhouette Studio. Essentials to Silhouette Studio goes over each and every one of these tools in detail as far as what it is that they do. Now, putting them together to modify designs, to create designs, that's a different story. I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest and say that this one training is going to get you exactly where you want to be. It's going to get you started because you are now going to understand, like when someone's saying subtract, you're not going to be like, huh? Someone says, make it a compound path, or why did you make it a compound path? Well, I explain why something is made a compound path. Why is something grouped? Why is something subtracted? What is the difference between subtract all and a regular subtract? All of those things are outlined and explained in detail in our Essentials to Silhouette Studio training. I went and broke this down where every single day it focuses on something. So it's not like trying to learn all of these different tools in like one tutorial. Every single day we focus on just that tool. And then by the time we get to the end, we're now putting these tools and functions together, and I'm showing you them in designing. So hands-on designing, I'm showing how all of these tools and functions come together. If you have not enrolled in this, I'm telling you, it is the best money that you will spend. And it's actually on sale right now, even lower than the 103. So head over to the website, click on it, add it to the cart. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just go to the site, click on the cart, add it to your cart, and go ahead, check out. And you can start learning as early as like right now, like as soon as we get off. All of the videos are there for you. You have unlimited access to the playbacks. You can work at your own pace. You can, like worksheets come with it. So for times where I'm showing something, it's not like, oh, well, you have to figure it out yourself. And it's, no, there are worksheets for the days on there that require them. You download those, you work for them, go back to it. Don't just go through this a one time and like, oh yeah, I got it. Like, it's meant to be your ultimate reference guide. Go back, refresh your memory on it. Make sure that you know it. Every time that you go through one of those worksheets, it should get faster and faster and faster and faster every time. You should become more efficient in doing. But if you have this already and you've only gone through it one time or you've barely looked at it, take the time to go through it. Invest in yourself. Dedicate time to yourself. If you're saying that you want your business to grow, I don't have people questioning me about my designs. I don't have people questioning me about my prices because I invest the time to be the best at what I do. You can't say that you are the best if you're not working to be the best. Professional athletes, they're not the best because, hey, only on game days, I come out and I dribble this ball, I shoot it, I pass it, I catch it, I hit this puck, I kick this soccer ball, I hit this tennis ball. It's not that on game day, on order day, that they're just great at it. They're practicing the same shots. I got to do that 10 times, 10, 20, 30, 100 times. I got to go and I got to do these dribble drills. I have to go and literally hit this ball, forward hand, backhand. I have to keep doing this over and over and over and over again. Not only do I have to practice this technique, there are other things that I have to do to maintain my body. So that's where all of the boring stuff comes in at, and listening to someone break down techniques and what it is that you need to, like, you have to train that creative part of your brain. Okay. So definitely go to the site and check it out. The link is in the description of this video, but I am going to go ahead and drop it in the comment section as well. Okay. All right, so while I do that, let's go through a few more comments here. Let's see. That's what I have problems with, changing colors by selecting a color. My black always seems off when I detach. I'm not sure what that means, changing colors. So if it's a vector file, you guys like to call it an SVG. So what that Betty file was, that wasn't technically an SVG. It is a vector file. Could I go and save that as an SVG file format? Yes. I can save it as an SVG file format. I can save it as a PNG file format. I can save it as a JPEG file format. I can save it as a PDF file format, which will still be in vector. I can take that PDF file or that SVG file, I can put it in Illustrator. Now I can save it as an AI file. I can save it as an EPS file. And it just means that it's still going to be in all of its layers. Now, if it's a file like that, you ungroup it and click on it and change it, or you may have to release the path to be able to change it. If it is a PNG, that is flattened. You're not going to be able to just select, like just click on it to select it and change the color. You're going to have to isolate that. Either you're going to manually trace it out and then crop it out, or you're going to use your trace functions, or you would have to use a program that has live trace and live fill. Like if you have Photoshop and you can select, like you can use your pixel selection. So you're selecting the pixels around that, and then you're going to fill in color with that. So that's a little bit different when you're working with flattened images. How do you change colors in the radiant color patterns? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I have a lot of your classes that I still need to absorb, because a lot of answers I need, I think, are in those classes. They really are. It's a lot I need to learn. I just need to lock the door to my room and get to it so no one can come in. And then I stop and don't get back to it. One step at a time. Focus on learning one thing at a time. After 3 years of watching you and taking classes, can't think of what I'd want to do that I haven't learned from your videos and classes that I have. Oh, that means that you're not going to be in any more of our classes then. That's awesome, though, that you feel like you have graduated from needing the videos and the classes. I want to learn Photoshop. However, I can't afford that monthly bill. So therefore I purchased Affinity and don't even know how to use it. Well, I'm not a big fan of Affinity. I've tried it. It works for some people. I personally don't really care for the interface of it. So when you say you want to learn Photoshop, there's so much to that. Photoshop is for Photoshopping. Like when we think in this craft industry and people who are in these craft groups and craft business groups, you're thinking, okay, I want to learn Photoshop, and you're thinking of making something like this, putting designs like this together in Photoshop. You can do this in Silhouette Studio, right? For some, Photoshop was the traditional way, Photoshopping. I'm going to make a skinny chick look like she got a bubble butt. I'm going to take someone that got a bubble butt and make you like you got no butt. I'm going to take something and like a shirt, my shirt now, I can alter it and I can have 1,000 different versions just from the one picture. A lot of times you see advertisements and stuff like that. If you go to Jiffy.com right now and you look at their shirts, you see a person standing, but yet you go through the pictures and change the colors of the shirt and you're seeing the different colors of the shirt. They didn't go and put on a new shirt, find this exact same pose. No, someone used Photoshop and they isolated that area. They put a color overlay over it, or they adjusted that adjustment layer. That is, Photoshop. It's removing blemishes. It's removing backgrounds. It's, fixing a scratch on someone's face. That's really what Photoshop is. Then you can take it and utilize the different tools and brushes in there some people are able to create their own brushes because they know how to like trace certain things and then make it into a brush. I teach about that in my Essentials to Photoshop. So I teach about creating and making your own brushes, or you can purchase brushes. Not everything, this misconception, and there's a lot of coaches, mentors, whatever the other names that they use, I don't know, like instructors, teachers, and they want you to believe that if you learn these softwares, you're never going to have to buy another design from Etsy. You're never going to have to buy You're not going to have to buy another design from Etsy. You're not going to have to waste your money on subscriptions with Creative Fabrica. I know these programs and I still do it because it's a lot to create, like full on from scratch, making your own brushes, making your own backgrounds. Even if it's like a polka dot background, there are steps to doing that. So learning these softwares doesn't necessarily mean that you're never going to purchase something. Purchasing them and knowing how to modify them, to adjust them, to make them work for you is also a skill, right? So you have to know what is it like, what part of Photoshop, what is it about Photoshop that you think is going to make your designs so much better? Is it the blend modes that you're trying to figure out? Is it blurring off edges? And if that's that, like once you figure out what that is, focus on just that. Whatever you think it is that's going to enhance it. Because in all these other programs, you can place embedded or open or merge. That's the same thing to bring in a PNG. You can remove the background if it's white by doing trace and detach. You can use third-party applications like remove.bg to remove a background from something, or you can use it. If you pay for Canva, you don't want to pay for all these different things. If you pay for Canva, use Canva, remove the background, save it as a PNG, and then bring it into Silhouette Studio. Like a lot of the foundational stuff is exactly the same. We're using different softwares and different platforms for what they have to offer. People like Canva because it has so many elements. I don't have to think about going to this site and finding it. I can put a search in and all of these elements come up in Canva. Now, it's great for elements. Is it great all the way, always for putting stuff together? No, there are things that you're going to want to do that you just simply can't do in Canva. So whatever software that you want to learn, really sit down, write out what is it that if I learn this thing in this software, it's going to benefit me how, and that is where you start, okay? How to add text to a design with the same color that's in the design that you purchased. I have tried to use the paintbrush and it puts the whole design in my letters. So you're using the wrong, one. So let's go here. And if you come now, so not paintbrush, so your dropper. If you use the dropper on this side, it is a properties dropper. And yes, it will fill that in. Actually, since you said text, let's just go HSINK365.com. Oh, wait, I meant to not add color. All right. I'm going to fill this in with a random like image, technically a pattern, which is the same thing. A pattern is nothing more than a PNG or a JPEG. So yes, if you were to click on the properties dropper here and select it, it's going to fill that in. You have to come to your actual color palette, go to the first icon, and you're going to use this dropper, or from the top over here, you can use this dropper and you're going to sample a color from in your design. And that is how you fill the design in with the color. If it is, you're trying to mimic a glitter pattern or like the textures that's within it, you're not going to be able to do that because that texture is only in a small portion. So let's say on the original, her headband had a zebra pattern and you're like, oh, well, I want to put that zebra pattern in my words. You can't do that. You have to go out and find a full zebra pattern and then crop it to your text. Because if you were to use this and you sample it, you are going to put that whole image in your text. So if that's what you're trying to do, trying to capture one not just color, but a texture, you have to go find a full image of that texture. Hopefully that makes sense. My first machine was a Cameo. I learned to use it by taking your classes. I recently purchased a Solo. It seems so difficult for me. So it's great. Like the Solo, even with, I need to start my videos for it. I thought I was going to be doing videos for the design software. There's really not much to it for the Caesar one, but I promise you guys the video for, and I'm going to be learning it with you. So me with the Caesar Romeo, you guys, we will be learning that together as far as the cut settings, and it's going to be live videos. I'm not going to know what I'm doing. I have purposely not touched this machine because when I do, you guys are going to see it in real time, and I'm going to be figuring this thing out in real time once I start using and learning the Romeo. But programs like that, they are not a full-on ecosystem like Silhouette Studio. That's one of the reasons why I love Silhouette's ecosystem, because it has a full-fledged design software that you can create infinite things with and also use the cutting machine. I have found that when it comes to Solos Create, it's not, it's really not giving, like with all of the different things that Silhouette Studio has to offer. And unfortunately, Leonardo, which is for Caesar at this time, also it's not robust. It's nothing when it comes to the design software. So you're still going to be relying on designing in Silhouette Studio and simply learning the cut features of those machines. Yeah, so I'm only going to be teaching. It's not really like a lot of classes. It's probably going to be a few videos because it's just going to be on learning the cut settings. I will not be designing anything in Leonardo because there's no design element, like there's no design properties of Leonardo. So I will only be using it as a cutting machine. So it's going to be a few videos simply on cutting. You are very welcome. Awesome. What version of Silhouette Studio can give a non-pixelated image when imported? Mine is a bit blurred when imported. Are you sure that you are importing a high resolution image? Silhouette Studio gives back what you give to it. So if that image was not a high resolution image, no software is going to enhance that image just by bringing it in and it not be pixelated or blurry. If it's something that you saw on your phone, the display on your phone and the size of it is a lot different. So things can look really sharp on here, but once you put it in a design software where you can really actually stretch it out and you're looking at it on a bigger screen, it is not going to look the same way that it did on your phone. All right, so only one person, or technically two people had a question about what they want to learn for this video. We are at an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and close out. But I do encourage you guys to, I was supposed to be dropping the link for you guys. I'm sorry, I forgot to drop the link for the 30-day training in the comments. But again, it is in the description of this video, okay, of this live. But there you go. It is in the comments. I don't even know if it's clickable though in the comments on YouTube, but it's, like I said, it's in the description of the video if you want to check that out, or just simply head on over to HSINK365.com, scroll down, or just go to classes and playbacks and you will see the essentials. I'm telling you, it is the best money, even if it's like, you might feel like money's kind of tight. I don't know. But how can you increase your revenue if you don't have the skills to increase your revenue? You're stuck. You are messing up tumblers. Your sizing is off. It's wrong. You, when it comes to design, I don't know how to change the colors. My colors are off because you don't know what you're doing. You're trying to figure it out yourself. You're wasting more money on blanks because of the design part of it, and you're messing up on your sizing. You don't know how to properly trace. You don't know when to trace that you can get the right sizing. Your DTF gang sheets, they're rejecting them. You're wasting more time on that. You're doing all this because you rather invest in the things that you think are going to be instant money makers. I don't want to spend $100 on a class, and I got to spend 30 days to learn it. I want to spend $100 on a bunch of shirts. I want to spend $100 on more tumblers. I've messed up 50 of them, but I want to spend $100 more on more tumblers and still continue to mess them up because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to invest in learning how to do things properly. I don't want to invest where I can attend a class live with someone who's actually knowledgeable in it and can help you. I want to figure it out from YouTube and hope and pray that they see my comment and that they answer me. But then it's like, well, there's another question, another question, another question. Now I've lost this money. Well, we invest so much. We invested. Our class costs less than the cheapest printer that you can buy for sublimation. Our class costs less than that. The cheapest print that you can buy for sublimation is actually almost double what our class is. But we think that that's going to be an instant moneymaker, and we push it to the wayside. It's a second thought. It's an afterthought to get the proper training for designing so that you can utilize that machine, that printer to its full potential. Don't disregard and don't count out the benefit of getting proper training on designing if you are someone who is a crafter or, some type of creative business, whether it's shirts, it's tumblers, if you want to make water bottle labels, you want to make party favors, Capri Suns, invitations, menu cards, decor for balloons, you want to do the memorial stuff, you want to do birthday, you want to do retirement. All of this can be done, and it all starts with designing. Either it's going to be your design or it's going to be a design that someone else created and you just modify it. But it all starts with some sort of designing. So what are you going to do to take control of your designs? It starts with a 30-day training. Okay. Head over to the site. So it shows you exactly what's there. I mean, what the thumbnail tells you exactly what's included. So day one, most people, I don't know why, they don't like reading oh wait, where is the description? Oh, there we go. You have to click on it, go into it. So you go to read more, and it tells you their worksheets. You get access to our Facebook group, and every single day we go over a different topic. So day one, we go over the features and benefits of the upgrades. So you may not need to immediately upgrade to designer or business. A lot of people think that, if I pay for designer edition, I will be able to trace better. No, it's the same way you trace in the free version, the same way that you trace in the designer edition. And even business edition. People think that, because I want to start a business, I automatically need business edition. You can learn this software. The majority of what we teach in this is based off of everything that is available to you in the free version. Now, the upgrades can provide additional make things more efficient. Like, I love my center of rotation. I like my grid lines. I like my rulers. I like my crosshairs. So those are things that, because I am a designer, that helps me align things and stuff like that. So off the bat, because this is free, the program is free, but hey, you might see me do some things like use center of rotation, and that's not going to be available to you. When we get to the rhinestone portion of this, that's not going to be available to you if you don't have designer, at least designer edition. So we go through the benefits and features of the upgrades. Then we go through preferences and shortcuts and how to save. Some people think that is not important. It's not important, but I've had so many reviews where they're like, I'm only on day 3 and I've learned so much. And I'm like, wait a minute, day 3 was just the upgrades, the preferences. Some people even know how to set it up properly to work for what they need. So we go over preferences, we go over the keyboard shortcuts. You get a list of my favorite keyboard shortcuts that everyone should learn. I highlight them for you. Then we go over the program layout so you just understand where things are, design page setup and registration marks. Then it's always set up to where Friday, like the Saturday and Sunday days when we did this, they were the longer days and they were like the real like meat and potatoes. So we started out because everyone was like, well, what's compound path and all that different, stuff like that. So we went into the modify for subtract and subtract all. Modified crop compound path was day 6. Day 7 is your weld, divide. Day 8, basics of text, text to path, cropping to text. So you can see all of this is text, but we're breaking it up over 3 days. That way you can focus on just like that one task and get a real understanding of it. We don't rush you through learning about text. Then we go through the fill tool, how to do your own custom colors, how to make your own gradients. Then we go through tracing. That is the big one. Tracing and then trace and detach. We had a little competition on that second day. Then we have offsets, which we talked about. We saw a little bit here, but there's so much more when it comes to offsets, using it for text effects, creating 3D things. Like it's so much when it comes to shadows, when it comes to offsets. Your image effects, we go through that whole thing and understanding what's available there, how that operates. Then rhinestones, SVGs, and then we go into looking at bringing all these things together. I'm showing designs. Some people submitted designs. They wanted to see how the tools would work with that. I will say some of those are more so learning, and it's like taking notes and it's understanding concepts, kind of like how I just did with the Betty. It's more on that. Then we go in and I talk about creating templates in Silhouette Studio, doing your measurements, but also utilizing the scan feature of your Epson printers. And then more hands-on designing, reviews, Q&A sessions, and you just get to learn from that. This is going to be the core. We will have live sessions for review and kind of going over this. It's going to take longer than 30 days. I told myself I will never do that again. This is still going to be your foundation. When it comes to our new bachelor's program, where we will have have weekly live videos, you're still going to have to purchase this. Like it's going to be included in the purchase price, or you have to have already like purchased it, and then you're just going to pay a separate fee to have access to the weekly sessions to to practice and learn and ask questions in real time. But this is our foundation. This is our flagship course. It's our foundation. It's the foundation for everything. Okay. So we have classes, like we host live classes. All of our classes are held. The initial run is always held live. So like right now, what is live is our summer school. We have a session tomorrow. We're in the week of learning about customized ribbons and bows and things of that nature. I'm going to use Sublimation, but we did talk about other ways to customize ribbons, in the on day 1. So right now, this actually is no longer live. I have to take this off. So this is the current ones that are current and they are live. And hold on. So these are the ones that's live. All of my classes, all of my trainings are initially done in front of a live Zoom audience. You get to be on this. If you're able to attend it, you get to be on the Zoom, ask questions. And, we have several Q&A breaks and you get to ask questions. Then it goes to where it's a playback. So that 30-day training, it's not live anymore. It was recorded in front of a live Zoom. Everyone says they still feel like they're in the live Zoom session because of how it's recorded. All questions are still, I don't edit it down. So it's not I sat here and I just did this training, pre-recorded it, it's edited down. You get to see the mistakes, you get to see the troubleshooting, you get to hear the questions of others. We had extended sessions, like I like to call them study sessions, and bonus sessions where people were able to share their screen. You get to see newbies do it, people who are not the professor, how they are navigating through tracing or subtracting and the issues that they are having. Those issues might be the same issues that you are having, and it helps you as long as you take notes. It includes a note guide. Print those out and actually utilize your note guide for the 30-day training, okay? So all of that is included whenever you take any of our classes. But right now, this is what's live. Everything else is all playbacks, but they are playbacks from live Zoom sessions. Okay. Oh, thank you. And you are very welcome. Glad you are learning a lot. All righty. Let's see. All right, so I see in our chat for this live, good morning, I'm a new user. Will just be taking my Cameo 4 out of the box, so I need to learn it all. I'm learning terminology after using a Cricut. I have Business Edition. Thank you. You are welcome. Let's see. I saw another one over here. Oh, that's a separate question. Okay, that wasn't from that one. All right. So I just was checking the chat for the live to see if there were any questions over there. So there are no other questions. We will go ahead and close out. But hopefully this video, this live broadcast, and just helps you understand that it's very beneficial. It's worth learning it because it's not just for shirts. It's not just for tumblers. As I said, I design all sorts of things in it. Party favors, the templates. We just went over it. This was last week's session for foam board creation. So my templates, so that I can just create nice straight lines for things like this. Setting your prints up to have the right size, whether you are going to submit it to a print company like HS Prints 360, HS 365 prints for us to print out your adhesive decals, or if you're going to send it somewhere else, if you want to create your DTF gang sheets, if you want to create your screen print gang sheets, if you want to create stickers and labels for your business so that you if you're creating a design, you just have to outsource the prints or even print them on your printer. The possibilities are like really, really endless, and it just takes learning it. And these are all things that don't require the machine. Anything with sublimation, doing the wind spinners, doing tumblers, you don't need a machine for this, but you can set this whole thing right here. I mean, even just setting the shapes, the spaces in between it, all of that, the text, this entire tumbler was designed in Silhouette Studio. If you have a website, one of the key things for a professional looking website is going to be your thumbnails. It's more than just going and getting a mock-up of something and just throwing it on there and just kind of, we want them to be the same size so that when it's on your it looks cohesive on your website, or even for your social media posts, for everything to look cohesive and you have a professional presence. That was some of the things that I taught. Complement your small business with Silhouette Studio. This right here is a retired training. You can only get this if you sign, like right now, you can only get access to it if you sign up for the summer school. You get access to Complement Your Small Business with Silhouette Studio. Where we talk about creating your business cards, if you want to create try an attempt to create your own logo, making your thumbnails, your thank you cards, your hang tags. So we teach all of that we taught all of that in Complement Your Small Business. But right now, That's only available if you signed up for the full summer school. We're going to run it back. It's going to be a full on, like, it's going to be Complimentary Small Business Part 2. But for this one, it was amazing. But that's only available if you do it. It's your bonus if you sign up for the summer school, right? So until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Don't forget to visit the website, shop.hsink365.com, for all of our trainings, as well as our sublimation ink and paper. These are the results that you get. Ooh. Big difference in these two. Okay, big difference. All right. So until next time, have a great one. Peace.